Hello again. This is part 3 of a series of videos I'm creating to try and help those of you out there who are suffering from post-COVID recovery, symptoms, problems, all the damage that it causes. Please check out my other videos if you haven't seen them. My first one is an introduction video, and the second one talks about stress and how to manage stress, inflammation, or just kind of an overall review of that. Today, I am going into a specific topic, which is managing your diet, food intake. This has been critical for me as I've gone through the healing process. When I first started out having post-COVID symptoms, the neurologic problems, the inflammation, the immune response, I could tell my body was just all over the place. And that was all being triggered definitely from stress and the damage caused from COVID. So today I'm going to go over just some basic stuff about food that might help you guys out there, especially if this is new for you and you're trying to figure out what you need to do. The first part to this is don't jump right in and try to do all the things that people are doing currently. One, because some of it relies on the medications that you're taking. For example, I'm on a medication that helps me to retain salt, and it also sort of inhibits my immune system or calms it down. But retaining salt then causes my body to retain water, which then helps me to keep my blood pressure up, which is one of the problems that I've been having. That's one of the conditions associated with the postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. But on top of that, you also have the Mast Cell Activation Syndrome, which just causes your immune system to go crazy. I mean, it just all kinds of inflammation, including temperature spikes, which I used to get, just random temperature spikes, 100, 102, and then I'd go into cold sweats, and then it was like it was gone, but then my body was just wiped out. So be careful with the foods that they recommend that you eat, aka high salt diet. That's the first part, especially for a condition like mine. I tried to do that too soon, too fast, and my kidneys were struggling because they were trying to expel all the salt that I was eating, and I was just trying to keep my blood pressure up. But the medication needs to be on board and working to help your body retain that salt. Otherwise, your kidneys will just expel it. They will work as hard as they can to expel it, and you'll pee more, you'll pee a ton. Yeah, sure, you might gain some retain a little bit of water, but I found it to be not as effective unless you're on medications that will help with that. So be careful with that. The other part to your diet is the histamine. Histamine is found in a lot of foods, and it is one of the triggers that causes your immune system and the inflammation response. There's lots of lists out there, things that will help you to see how much of food it has, how much histamine it has in it. I would recommend looking at that and adjusting your diet accordingly. Low histamine foods are strongly recommended. The other part of it is very low sugar diet, meaning no added sugars or simple sugars. If anything in there has added sugars or you see sugars, then there's a chance that it could trigger that inflammation response. Sugars are going to cause inflammation in your body, and they will trigger it fast. Your body already has sugars running around in your bloodstream, especially when you're dealing with post-COVID, because your fight or flight response is overactive and it will release sugars into your bloodstream. So not only you already have sugars, but you're going to have excess sugars, and that may look like you have diabetes or diabetic problem. So your body has a hard time keeping up with that. So be careful with that. Examples of daily meals that I eat are things that are very, very basic, very simple. Proteins, strongly recommend basic proteins. There are certain meats that have a little more histamine in them. Meats that are that sit longer and stay in the fridge longer, they tend to develop more histamine. The way you cook your meat can also increase that histamine level. Now, don't get too hung up on the histamine. It's a starter point, and it will help you get through flare-ups or when your symptoms are a lot worse. As my condition has improved, I've actually started to eat little bits of other things that I wouldn't have eaten or won't eat if I have a flare-up. The fresh meats, the fresh vegetables, there are some vegetables that are higher in histamine, so I would be careful with those, and especially if you're having bowel problems related to COVID. Certain foods can really trigger problems for you. You can find that stuff out there on the internet. There's lots of lists for diets that are low histamine, but also low sugar. Stay with the low sugar. So essentially, I'm eating fresh vegetables, nuts, meats, stuff that is low in gluten is an important thing. For whatever reason, I don't understand. Gluten triggers more inflammation. So if you can find a low gluten diet, that's good. For me, I have things like certain kinds of oatmeal, breads, different Cheerios are a good one. I eat those a lot because they're high in fiber, which is actually another part to it. High fiber type stuff will help you if you're having bowel problems, especially bowel problems related to the post-COVID. So food is a very critical thing to manage your symptoms. So if you're not doing that yet, I strongly recommend it. It's helped me a ton, and I've seen huge differences. Not only that, but you'll be healthier. Before I had all these problems, before I got COVID, I was just eating everything and anything, and I felt fine. I mean, I was eating healthy, but I was weightlifting, getting stronger. I compete in the Highland Games, and I was just trying to pack on weight, so I would eat whatever I wanted. Now I have to be very careful with that. I've lost 20 pounds since this all happened, and so I'm a little not near as strong as I used to be, but diet-wise, I am definitely healthier. The way you process your foods, cook them, can also affect the histamine, so look into how you're cooking the foods. The other part of the protein intake, the meats, it's very important that you get those meats because meats have amino acids in them that will help you reduce your stress and anxiety. So if you're not getting enough meat in your diet, your anxieties actually will go up. And of course, there's medications to help with the anxiety, but you might notice a difference if you're not eating meat. So look into those things. Those are my suggestions to help you with reducing your inflammation through eating. It's helped me, and I highly, highly recommend it. Along with, that's the other part, vitamins. Try and get a good multivitamin going. There are vitamin B supplements and just all overall vitamins. Those are going to be the go-tos. Vitamin D is a really important one to help you post-COVID. Vitamin C for your immune system. You can talk to your doctor about some of these things just to make sure in case there are any issues that you have with your medications. So yes, please like my videos, subscribe to my channel. I'm going to create probably 2 or 3 more videos. Next one will be about exercise, which is right up my alley. I have a doctorate in physical therapy, and that is one area I'm really trying to focus on. Post-COVID, it's really important to stay active and find ways to be healthy. So I will be posting a video next time that will go over some exercises and progression to improving your strength and your cardio in a safe way where you're not overdoing it, causing excess inflammation, problems with your body. It's a fine balance. So watch for that video again. Subscribe to my channel and like my videos. Appreciate it. Thank you.